So initially when I wanted to do something, I just followed the trial and error approach. I just attempted that thing, and somewhere along the line I figured what works, what doesn't work. But the problem with this was it took a lot of time to actually figure out what actually works and what does not work. And during the course of that time you do not get any results, so you kind of lose motivation, and I used to stop doing that thing. Like, this happened multiple times. Like, for the first couple of years I did not make any amount of gains in the gym. And this is like the third time I'm making a YouTube channel. The first two times I actually quit. For the first time I quit at 64 subscribers, and the second time I quit at 9 subscribers because I was just putting all this effort in and not getting the desired results. Like, imagine you see a person in the gym and he's just running on the treadmill for 3 hours straight, and then you ask him, "Hey buddy, are you training for a marathon?" And he looks at you and says, "Marathon? No bro, I'm trying to build muscle." You would think that guy's retarded, because the way that he's doing that particular action is not going to yield the results that he wants. Now you two are doing just that. You are using the wrong strategy in order to accomplish your goals. From this day onwards, I want you to think of the world in terms of meta, not the company, but the acronym for the most effective tactic available. Everything around you has a meta. Gaining muscles, gaining strength, building good relationships, finding a spouse for marriage, having a successful business, having a high-end career, being good at exams. Every single thing in your life, every single domain has a most effective tactic available. But this is where most people mess up, including me myself. What we do is actually just start attempting that thing and figure it out eventually through trial and error approach. Now this takes hundreds and thousands of hours and a bunch of failures, and eventually most people lose motivation and quit when they do not see the results. But if you know the most effective tactic available for a particular thing, you are going to start seeing results with 1/10 of the effort. And when you see results, you get even motivated and you spend more time and energy into that domain. So knowing the meta to a thing is usually the difference between failing at it and being really, really successful at it. Of course, it's not just enough knowing the meta, you actually have to apply the meta. So this is sort of like level 2 self-improvement stuff. Level 1 self-improvement stuff is actually just getting disciplined enough to actually work hard towards anything, let alone towards a meta. So at level 2, once you have acquired that discipline to actually perform hard work, deep focus work towards a domain, then you need to target it towards a meta, towards the most effective tactic available, rather than just using trial and error approach. Like, to give you an analogy between a person who follows a meta and a person who does not follow the meta, he just does trial and error approach and just sees whatever works and just goes with the flow. It's like a person having a map to a destination, and he actually follows that map, and he knows where the shortcuts are, he knows where the pitfalls are, he knows where there's traffic, he knows what's the shortest path. He will get there to his destination far, like at least 10 times quicker than a person who does not have a map to his destination. That person is just taking every single road, he's falling into every pothole. This person is moving in circles and circles and tripping and falling. This person actually never reaches his destination, or takes significantly longer to reach his destination. He covers distances that he frankly shouldn't need to cover. This is the difference between the trial and error approach and knowing the meta to a thing. Like, I want you to sit down and actually write the things, the domain of life that you're really, really interested in. It could be, hey, you want to be a better martial artist. It could be that, hey, you want to be a better software engineer. Hey, you want to be a better, I don't know, husband, a better father, a more social person. Write down all these domains of life which you really, really want to get good at, and then ask yourself, which of these domains do I just absolutely suck at and I'm just using the trial and error approach, and which of these domains I'm certain that I found the right meta. Because believe me, my friend, without the right meta, you are going to be probably average at these domains, or you would be required to spend hundreds and thousands of hours in these domains. And let's be real, most of us do not have that amount of time in a day to spend thousands of hours learning things from scratch. It's like you are reinventing the wheel. It's almost like if I asked you to make a car, you would start by reinventing the wheel. No, that's not what you do. You just assemble the parts together. You don't have to reinvent the engine. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So why are you doing this in other domains of your life? Why are you using this trial and error approach when there is a blueprint already available? All you have to do is get that blueprint and save yourself thousands of failures and thousands of hours of your time. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jibreal Khan. I help men become the most productive versions of themselves and get rid of all their addictions to instant gratification. If you would like to have a one-on-one meeting with me, then check out the link in the description. Now the key question is, how do you actually obtain this blueprint? Like, how do you get the meta to something? First thing that you could do is spend 10,000 hours in that thing. So that is the old school way, and that is what most people pretty much do. If you truly want to obtain mastery in a thing, the first thing that you could do is spend just 10,000 hours on that thing, brute force that thing, And eventually down the line, after having thousands of failures, you will discover the meta to that thing. But I do not recommend this route. There is a second way to obtain a meta to a thing. You need to find the people who have absolutely mastered that domain. Now, suppose you want to be a good businessman, you could look up to someone like Alex Hormozi, Sam Ovens, guys like these who have actually mastered entrepreneurship. So you really need to find the people who have mastered the domains that you're interested in. And once you find these people, you need to find books written by these people. You need to find podcasts by these people. You need to find particular courses by these people. But make sure you avoid people who are just pretending to have mastered the domain by portraying a certain social media image. You need to really filter out that, hey, these are the people who have actually mastered the domain and they have the right meta and it's worth learning from them. Whereas these are the people who just showcase to have known the meta but are actually just here to sell courses and books, and they're not probably worth learning from. Once you've made this distinction and found a group of people who really know metas to things, then you really need to learn from these people. And once you've learned enough, you need to start applying. And what you will realize is now you're spending half the time and getting twice the results. One of the reasons why I was able to get this channel to write 500 followers was because I read this book called The YouTube Formula, and I got the right meta. I knew how to make thumbnails, how consistently to post, what to expect, how long it will take. Once I got to know these things, the meta was clear to me. Then the journey felt far easier. That's about it, folks. Learn the right meta and you will see your progress skyrocket.